have been through a lot in my life, and all of it has sort of culminated in me having a functional neurological disorder. You don't know what a functional neurological disorder is? That's fine. I also didn't know what it was until a couple of months ago. I have been through immense and extreme trauma from the ages of 10 till October of last year. And so I have a lot of things wrong with me, as you have seen by the bio on this channel: OCD, BPD, PTSD. Sometimes those symptoms from those cause something called NES, non-epileptic seizures. Non-epileptic seizures is a functional neurological disorder. The functional neurological disorder is where it's kind of like misinputs in your brain, but not quite. It's sort of hard to explain. It's kind of like if you took something that was psychosomatic but made it real. Does that make sense? So the best way that I can explain it is by showing you. At first it started as hand contractions, which I thought were just carpal tunnel, because that can happen with carpal tunnel, where it just gets so bad that your muscles contract in your hand and then your hand closes. And for a while it was just in my hand for, I want to say, like a month or so. It was just in my hand where it would close and it would stay closed and I couldn't open it. And so I went to the hospital and they were like, oh, there's nothing we can really do for you except for give you muscle relaxers. And so they gave me muscle relaxers, and for a while that worked. And then I went to the hospital again, and that time, this was like, I want to say like a day, maybe 2 days after the initial hospital trip, I went again because it was getting worse. Like it was contracting, and then it was like coming inward like this, and so I it was the same thing. I was just given muscle relaxers, and then I did a video on my main channel where I was explaining how content is going to be sparse because my editing hand, which is my dominant hand, my right hand, it wouldn't work. I couldn't get it to open. And so literally the next day after I posted that video, which I didn't edit that video at all. I made it and then I posted it. The next day, my entire body, every single muscle in my body started to contract. And that's where the real problem started, because every single muscle in my body contracted, and so I couldn't move. I was in a temporary state of paralysis for 18 hours at the hospital, and within those 18 hours I was having seizures. It was dissociative, but also like a little bit of normal seizures. None of them are like epilepsy or like actual seizures, but it also is real seizures. It's hard to explain. I'll put the definition on the screen somewhere. But yeah, so I was in the hospital for 3 days. And they treated it as if it was a stroke, because I was having stroke symptoms also. Didn't have a stroke, thank God. But until I had feeling back until I could walk and everything. And so I was let go, and they did a bunch of tests. They had psychiatrists come in and physical therapists come in and a whole bunch of different tests done, and all of them came back negative for anything. And so they were like, well, clearly you're having a psychotic episode, and they basically discharged me with having a mental breakdown. And so a few days pass, and I start to have tics, like facial tics and neck tics, where my left side it'll, like, my left lip will contract, and then I can't do it on command because it's hard to do on command, but I can kind of, it's like that, but it's like, I can't do it on command, but it's like that, and then my head jerks to the left side.
Medicine, but
And
not
that's when the seizure part of it comes in. So the full body is basically like a worst case scenario if it's bad enough, if I'm stressed enough, and the dissociative seizures are the normal, the baseline. And so it all depends on how stressed I am. And the reason why I am making this video is because not only is it related to the topic of my channel, but also because there is a chance that I could be having these tics, or even have dissociative seizures in a future video. And I didn't want it to be something that just came out of the blue. I wanted there to be an explanation. And so, yeah. I have NES. I have non-epileptic seizures, and it's scary and it's stressful. And the triggers so far, the triggers that we have found are being in public for too long, because I have developed a form of agoraphobia. So being in public for longer than like an hour or so is immensely triggering for me. When my PTSD is spiked because it's caused by trauma, and obviously normal stress. But a new one today, recording this as of July 8th, 2026, a new one was found today where it's migraines. If I have a bad enough migraine, then it will also trigger seizures. So that's interesting. I didn't expect to learn a new trigger for it today. And yeah, I don't have anything else to say about it other than I know that there is a chance that I could be having symptoms in a future video, or even maybe on my main channel in a future video or on a stream or something, and I just wanted to get ahead of it. So it's not Tourette's, it's not Tourette's, it's not anything like that. It's non-epileptic seizures, and it's caused by stress and trauma and other things related to stress and trauma. So, okay, bye.